The podcast you are about to listen to is one of the many podcasts that is part of the College Huddle, the largest fan-led college sports podcast community on the internet. Fan-made, fan-driven, and fan-fueled. The College Huddle.
Whoa, he has trouble with the snap, and the ball is free.
Okay, next question.
I'm a horse football coach right now.
You know, it got shoved up, shoved it up. It got shoved, right?
Hello, Spartan fans all across the world. It is episode 31 of the Spartan Savants podcast. What an honor it is to be here again after another green and white victory. Victory for MSU. Of course, it is Willie, joined by two of the great Spartans, Nicholas R. Homburg and Travis Tyler. Boys, how are we doing?
3-0, baby. It's great.
Feels good.
Yeah.
It really
Feels
does.
good.
What was that?
I said it feels really good.
Yeah, that's one thing I will say I'm a little perturbed about is that Lions loss on Sunday.
That one hurt.
Ooh.
That one hurt.
It was just so frustrating. I know, obviously, we're an MSU podcast, but we gotta touch on it.
We talk Lions.
I've been so annoyed by this Lions loss for the past.
Baker
that was
Mayfield
ugly.
looks so
Ugly.
good. They made Baker Mayfield look so good. That was tough.
Yeah, I'm not panicked. I'm feeling good still. Been living life high, living high on life, feeling great. Newly married, got a new truck. But man,
That
Lions
truck
loss
is
cool.
really
New
put it
truck.
over.
That truck is cool. I got to tell you, I'd be lying if I wasn't a little worried about the Lions. And I don't want to spend too much time on it, but Jared Goff does not look the same. I get it. It's week 2, but I pulled the panic button out. I haven't pressed it yet, but it's sitting there staring at me.
It's a short fuse for sure.
Yeah,
I mean, the first interception he threw, there could have been PI. The second one was nowhere near anybody.
Yeah, they just don't quite have my trust.
It's 16 points.
Yeah.
Come on. Ugh.
Yeah. I don't know why we threw the ball 55 times. I mean, that's not what Dan Campbell's all about, but I thought they got a little cute with some of the play calls. Ben Johnson was not on his A game, but we're here to talk about the green and white. Coming off a workmanlike victory against Prairie View A&M, the Panthers didn't quite cover the spread, but I think we'll all take 40 points, 40-0 victory. I'd be happy with that. Not a ton to take away from this one, obviously, just because the level of competition, is not what we're going to see moving forward, certainly. But Nikki, do you have anything that caught your eye? I've got an idea of what one might be, but if you got some thoughts, I'd love to hear them.
I mean, we did what we were supposed to do against an FCS school. It's fun watching Childs make a couple plays. He didn't really have to do anything. It's just one of those victories you just gotta enjoy. Like, watch us look sick. But of course, the P words on everyone's mind: penalties. It's unbelievable.
It's so bad. And they're not like tic-tac, 5 yards for illegal formation. They're like horse collar, roughing the passer.
Yeah. Kicked a guy in the nuts. Yeah. That kind of
15-yarders. These are big boys. That's tough.
Yeah. That's really the main takeaway. We got to just, again, clean up the penalties. We got lucky getting bailed out from an interception, but again, it didn't really matter. It was fun watching Childs make some throws. He plays it fast and loose with the ball a bit, but it's one of those things you just, at the moment, you gotta give it and take it away. You gotta just kind of live with it.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah, there were definitely some miscommunications and stuff on that on a couple times. That's not going to hurt us against Prairie View, but it could somewhere down the line. But like you said, shutout's always good against anybody. So I'll take it. Just make the extra point next time.
Yeah, no kidding. The penalties are, you can get away with it versus Prairie View, but that's going to come back to bite us. And this week,
Absolutely.
perfect example. If you have 100 penalties, I have a hard time finding a way to believe that we'll win that game. But I agree with you both. I thought a workmanlike performance from Childs outside of the one throw that he got bailed out on the roughing the passer. Again, I just a little bit careless, but I think like you said, Nick, we're going to live and die by that all season long. We've talked about how young he is and the maturity still, not quite there. Obviously, the arm talent, I think he probably is well aware of the type of arm talent he has, and I can appreciate the confidence that he feels he can make any type of throw. We haven't had a quarterback like that probably in a while, probably since Connor Cook. And even him, he didn't quite have the arm talent that Aiden Childs has. So I think I can live with it. There will be a time this season where it probably costs the game. I've tried to wrap my mind around that. I think all Spartan fans probably should, but for now, nothing to do but smile, smile, smile.
That's right.
Yeah. 3-0 is a good feeling. You just got to keep it rolling.
I will say, that 105-yard interception was pretty sick. Our return.
That was cool.
Yeah.
I don't
Charles
care who
Brantley,
you're playing. Bad teams don't do that.
Yeah.
No, I agree. Charles Brantley probably has
been amazing.
MVP this to date. I would think. He's getting a great opportunity with the injuries in that defensive backfield. Not that he wouldn't be playing regardless, but he's really taking advantage of his opportunity. And thank God he didn't transfer the numerous times that he tried.
Yeah, the new staff made him earn that job for sure, and he's shown it. So it's cool. It's a deeper position now. Yeah.
One thing that's just kind of been weighing on me from that Prairie View game is the run game, more so the offensive line. I think Trev, you talked about the last show. You wanted to see the O-line kind of manhandle a weaker opponent.
I've probably mentioned it like every week. Yeah.
Yeah. I just I think both running backs broke loose for a couple ones. I know that Carter, he broke out for a big one that sticks out, but
yeah,
they're just not. The consistency is not there. I feel like both running backs a lot of times are getting hit behind the line of scrimmage or almost at the line of scrimmage. It's and then offensive line just is beaten up. I get it, but it's like it's going to be tough, moving into Big Ten play to have a complimentary run game for the pass game.
Yeah, K'Ron Lynch-Adams has had to dodge tacklers in the backfield pretty much anytime he's getting the ball, which thank God he does that well. But if he's having to do that against like Ohio State and Oregon, we're screwed. And we're already going to be on our third starting right guard this year in the fourth game. That's not great. So,
yeah, who is it? Fincher?
Fincher, yeah, backup center usually. At least he's like he's a senior, I think. So
I think he's had some starts or at least some snaps.
Yeah, he's played. I think he started at center a couple times last year. Yeah, so he's got some experience. So at least that helps. But it's not ideal when your first two options are done for the season within 4 weeks.
Yeah, it's too bad because I thought Brocious and Phillips were playing all right.
It just makes it harder to gel too.
Yeah. That's the truth. Yeah, but I thought Childs was clean for the most part. I have running game O-line penalties. I think that pretty much
injuries
covers it for Prairie View. Injuries, just if we could stay healthy. Yeah, that Brocious one is tough.
Do we have to choose between one season-ending injury per game or 100 yards of penalties a game? Like, do we have to choose, or can we get both?
We've been
hit with both. Yeah. There's no choice involved whatsoever.
Yeah. That would be a tough choice, but I'd like to stay healthy. But
you can lose your thumb or you can lose your big toe. Your choice.
Yeah, the penalties. Be interesting to see this week. It's we'll talk about it when we get into Boston College, but I think we can move on from Prairie View. I just feel like that's there's not much you're going to take away from that. It's a clean win. Anytime I was looking back like we've actually scored more than 40 points more frequently than I thought. But mostly against that type of opponents. But I was hoping for a cover. I just think with the way the new clock rules, like the clock gets moving so fast. I mean, I think they probably could have put up at 50 if they wanted to, but I mean, the first quarter seems to be over before you know it, most games, and then all of a sudden it's halftime. But it was nice to see Schuster get in. I thought he looked good.
He did look good. Nice throws. Yeah, I think it was 8 for 10, something like that. Yeah,
I think that helps. I know that helps me sleep at night. That's a nice insurance policy if God forbid Charles gets hurt or just gets really careless with the ball. But obviously, I'm pretty comfortable in knowing that job's his, and the coaching staff feels the same. So with that, let's get on to a big one. It feels like probably the biggest game in Michigan State football. Not history, but like that we've had in a few years. Like 2022, there was really nothing to get excited about after Washington, and the same can be said for last year. So I mean, this is a big one. I mean, like you look at our schedule following this game, very, very tough. You win this one, I think it opens up tons of outcomes in terms of win-loss. But this is going to be a lot to handle. And Trav, I'll start with you. What's your biggest concern going into this one? Where do you think we might fall short matchup wise?
Well, I'm gonna sound like a broken record here, just because of what you mentioned earlier with the offensive line not dominating like we wanted to, because against the inferior competition. Because Boston College is a physical team, always is a physical team. Like you think of programs where they churn out offensive linemen and running backs. Boston College is one of them. And luckily, our run defense has been absolutely fantastic so far this year. But at the same time, the other side of the ball kind of worries me with how physical it's going to be up front. And we got to stay ahead of the sticks and all that. But it kind of reminds me of back when D'Antonio was taking over and we had that road game against Pitt, where they had LaShawn McCoy just going off. And we had beat them the year before, so it was another home and home kind of situation. That one might have actually been in East Lansing, but anyway. But that game kind of set the tone for D'Antonio and the way they were going to play, because it ended up, the year before they had won because of their offense scoring 38 consecutive points. That first year under D'Antonio was a 17-13 win. So the defense stepped up and got the stops when they wanted to. That's kind of how I picture this game going. If we're going to win, it's going to be a sloppy, low scoring type of game where our defense, which has been fantastic so far this year, is going to have to lead the way again. And we're just going to have to take the opportunities when we can get them and get back to playing a physical brand of football.
Yeah, that's well said. Nikki, what do you got?
I love it, Travis. Pound green pound, baby. So for biggest concern, a couple things. One, a couple stats for you here. We are 1-4-1 against Boston College. What the hell? It seems like we should be 2-0 against them. Like,
when was the last time we played them? They have Matt Ryan?
Champ Sports Bowl, yeah. Matt Ryan, 2007. That same year as that Pitt game that I was talking about.
But yeah, like
we're due.
We are due for that. It is funny. We were talking about this offline before we started recording, but we're averaging 300, or not averaging. We have a total of 33 penalties and 342 yards in penalties, and they have a total of 11 for 78.
Yeah, they average 3 or 4 penalties for 26 yards.
Yep.
If we had as many penalties as we had total during just this game, it would be an improvement. So,
yep.
That's we really got to clean that up. This would be a great week to start. I've always said it, under 60 yards, 60 yards and penalties, 5 penalties for 60 yards. Oh man, I'd love that. That would be
clean
great.
Living.
Yep. Let's see another stat that I have. So it's going to be rainy, obviously. So one concerning stat to me is Winston is 1-1 in the rain on the road when going to Michigan State games because as one to let the world know, Winston will be attending this game.
Well, boots on ground.
And he is also 0-2 on the East Coast. Both times against Rutgers, one basketball, one football. So my biggest concern is Winston being there, which leads me to say,
might have to miss my train.
You do know your legacy.
What if you didn't go?
If we do not win this game, you may be facing life banishment from away games.
It's a legacy game. Yeah, this is tough. I'll never forget that Rutgers game last year, also in the rain. Like Mikey said, it rained like you wouldn't believe. But I feel good. I think it's going to be a good Michigan State crowd. Hoping to improve the record to 2-1. But Trevor, I think I really like what you said about a tone-setting game. I think this is a great opportunity for this team and Jonathan Smith to really set the tone for where this rebuild is going and what this team's going to be all about. I think we saw some of it at Maryland, and this just would be a even bigger opportunity to bolster that. This Boston College, in my mind, is a pseudo-ranked team. I mean, I think they fell out of the top 25 after that loss to Missouri. I'm not so sure it's very well deserved.
They only lost by 6.
Yeah, they played very hard in that game. Probably could have won it on the road against a top 10 team, an SEC team, who has loaded with talent. So Boston College is going to give Michigan State everything they can handle. One thing that is concerning to me is when we were previewing this game early on, we talked about the quarterback Castellanos and how he's
bring that up
kind of turning the ball over. He's been very efficient this year. He's 9 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Both of those interceptions came against Missouri. He is 35 for 54 for a completion percentage of 65.8%. Thrown for almost 600 yards. Is a QB rating of 87.4. And that's on top of being the team's 3rd or 4th leading rusher. So that's what's keeping me up at night about this one. I think the defensive line has played very solid. The front 7 in general against the run has been very good. Against the pass, I think it's been a little shaky. Cal Holiday, for the life of me, I love that guy. I think he's a great leader, but man, him
not a coverage guy
in passing situations is tough to watch. Like I don't even, if there was a way to get him off the field on obvious passing downs, for the love of God, I would love for the coaching staff to do that. But they have 3 running backs that all have over 100 yards in the season. Of the 2 main guys, Ward and Robichaud, both have about the same amount of carries, one's averaging just under 6 yards a carry. That's Ward, and Robichaud averaging almost 4 yards a carry, both with the TD. So, I mean, again, take the quarterback, take the running backs, and they've got 2 receivers that have almost both have over 150 yards in receiving. Yeah. So it's the defense is going to have their hands full here. I think this is a better offense than Maryland's. I'm surprised the spread is less than it was with Maryland, but I think that my biggest concern is just can the defense keep it going versus probably the best offense they've played to date.
Yeah, and I think hopefully playing Fancher from week 1 against FAU helps out a little bit with the Castellanos stuff, because that dude can freaking scoot, man. He's fast, and that's something that could definitely screw us up. And I mean, but looking at the stats, I mean, we have the 16th total defense going in to this game, 23rd against the run. So, I mean, there's plenty of confidence to be playing with there. So hopefully that helps out somewhere.
Maryland's not a bad offense. Like, we beat them.
No, not at all.
No. Yeah.
And if you look statistically at the offensive side of the ball, they're averaging 35 points per game. We're just under 28. So they've got us
a lot
there.
Of running yards.
Yeah, they've got us there. But total yards per game, they're averaging 410. We're averaging 411. They've got 62 plays per game on offense. We've got 65. Third down percentage, they're 47%. I forgot to look at what we are, but I think that's always a big one.
We're pretty high, actually, from what I saw. Yeah.
I forgot where we were, but either way, I think third down percentage is always key because especially with these pro style offense that Michigan State runs, I feel like they get caught in a lot of not caught, but they face a lot of third downs, whether it's third and short. But
we're exactly 50% on third downs.
Yeah, okay. So pretty even. I mean, they're 47%. The yards per game is right on. And if they had whoever they played week 2 after they played Florida
Duquesne.
State. Duquesne. Yeah, I mean that's probably a worse team than. If I'm being totally honest, Duquesne is probably worse than Prairie View. So I mean,
at best they're on par.
Right. Yeah. So that's that's probably where they get their extra 7 points in terms of because they scored 28 versus Florida State, 21 versus Missouri. I think it's going to be a fairly even game. I don't know if Boston College is a daunting place to play. 6.5. I mean, that tells me if it was a neutral site that Boston College would still be favored by 3. But I think that this should be a great college football game. I think.
Yeah. I think we play similar styles too on both sides, which that'll be like just historically and currently. So that'll be a good storyline to watch out there.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. So I think Mike, we talked about our concerns a little bit. I think the keys to victory for me, I won't go through all of them, but stop the run, contain the quarterback.
Yep.
I think that's the biggest. If they're going to, I think if they're going to beat us, I would like to try and make him do it passing. Although he's been very effective through the air this year, but and I think just like Maryland, I think the defense is good enough to keep us in the game regardless. I don't really. Knock on wood, I don't see it being a blowout. Stop the penalties, obviously. Win the turnover battle. And that might be tough because they haven't turned the ball over very often. But if the defense can get 2 turnovers or we can find a way to come out on top of the turnover battle, I think that'll be a good step forward in winning this game. And then the last thing I have is effective run game to complement the passing game. I don't think we need to run for 250 yards. I just think we have to have the threat of running the ball to keep the linebackers at bay and not just dropping back. Keep those safeties honest. I think that's the key there on the offensive side. Run the ball effectively. Doesn't have to be Saquon Barkley at Penn State. But if you can have a threat to the run game, open up the passing game. Would love to see Velling get involved more often.
Yep.
But what do you guys got, Nikki? Your keys to victory in this one?
I mean, one thing I like about this team from that Maryland game, especially just the adversity that we've already faced.
Yep.
Like we've already come back on the road once. I remember I heard something with Brian Lewerke saying that Maryland is like almost harder to play because it's such like a nothing atmosphere. So this will be a lot more hype. It could be for a lot of people much harder to play in, but or at least we have some resiliency there. And I really just think kind of what you were saying. I think we got to just make Castellanos beat us with his arm, which maybe I don't know if we can do that or not. Let's find out. Yeah. And again, I just a little bit more careful with the ball, Aiden, and just make some plays, make some big plays.
Yeah. I mean, if he beats us with his arm, then hey, hats off to him. We got to, if we go in there, we play physical, avoid being one-dimensional, don't turn the ball over. That's pretty much what we got to do. Sounds basic. Sounds simple. Easier said than done, though.
Yeah. Yep, I agree. And I hate to say, a quarterback that's completing over 65% of his passes with 9 passing touchdowns in 3 games. Sounds a little funny to say make him beat you with his arm, but 4 of those passing TDs came against Duquesne, which almost it's almost half the passing touchdowns. I think one way or the other you have to take away a threat, right? That sounds obvious, right? Like don't let him run all over you, don't let him pass all over you.
Sell out against one of them.
Yeah, if you're gonna let him throw, if you're gonna make him throw, then you got to take away the run. And if you want to make him beat you on the ground, then make sure we take away the pass. But their weapons, it's not like it's only Castellanos. I mean, they've got players, and they're going to be a well-coached team with Bill O'Brien. So Trev, any additional keys to victory on your end?
I'm trying to come up with another one because you guys kind of took all of mine. But
Yeah,
I guess the penalties too. But
yes,
that's been done to death. But yeah,
I have one that I actually think Winston can help with. I think if you have a meatball in a cup that they sell at the stadium, I think that will improve our chance of victory.
I mean, that was, I'm not leaving that stadium without at least one meatball in a cup. Probably, if they have different variations, I'll probably try them all. I mean,
I'm going to need a review of that. Yeah,
I will be happy to do that.
Well, I saw that and I was like, I'm making them get that. Absolutely.
Yeah. Sharpie that segment in for the next episode. I'm a big fan of stadium food. Like, it's obviously trash, but I love to try like the things that you can only get at that stadium or whatever is unique to that stadium. Obviously, they all do hot dogs, popcorn, whatever. I love all that too. But meatball in a cup, I mean, that's what Boston College is.
Say less. Yeah.
I'm all in on that.
Yeah,
I wonder if they serve beer in the stadium.
That seems like a thing they would do.
Should find a way to get those meatballs in a cup to the Prairie View team with their Italian food obsession.
Yeah, maybe
that was a good one.
Prairie View Stadium.
I'll have an extra one for that quarterback. Oh my gosh, they love their Italian food down in Prairie View. So I didn't realize until like this week that this was the red bandana game. I feel like that's something that everyone would have circled, but I feel like it just started being talked about. Obviously, great story. Do you guys think it'd be disrespectful if I had a green bandana?
I think it might be.
that might cross a line.
I don't know. I feel like it's solidarity.
I think you'd wear a red one in solidarity.
Or just none. Yeah.
That's a good question. I don't know where I land on that one.
It could be one of those things where like you go to the student section or like the section where the game is, just everyone's wearing a green bandana and you're like, oh wow, I was off on that one.
Now I'm the asshole. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I think I'll just hold off on the green bandana. I don't need to be a hero.
I think that's a counselor. You're the headband guy.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Boston College, Budweiser, Bud Light, Sam Adams, Harpoon IPA, and cider, along with red and white wine.
Oh,
there you go.
Classy.
There you go. Well, that'll be nice. Anything else on Boston College? I mean, this is a huge. I feel like this. I can't overstate it enough. This is a big game. Just again, I want to circle back. This we all know what comes after this with Ohio State, Oregon, Iowa, Michigan. And we're going to get into some of that a little bit here, but going into that stretch of games 4-0 is a lot different than 3-1. I don't know. Looking back, I think you guys both had us beating Michigan, and I think that we could do a whole segment on changing expectations and on that. But this is such an important game to win. It's again, like I said, 4-0. Heading into that stretch of games, who knows where you come out of that? But if you steal one or two, then all of a sudden, like I keep saying, 9-3 is in play. At the very least, 8-4. I would think winning 4 out of our last 8 games would be the expectation. So, and Trev, I think. I always say this, you hit the nail on the head. I think it's really a tone-setting game. At least it's an opportunity to set the tone for Jonathan Smith. And I really think that the team will relish in that opportunity. And a night game on the road in a hopefully a good environment, I think that it'll be interesting to see how our guys respond.
Yeah. Time to track down ACC Network, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I get it on YouTube TV. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I have YouTube TV too. So
I checked today. I do. If you have the sports package, you do.
There you go. So we're all good. That sucks. Yeah. I mean, that sucks. I mean, ACC Network. Good God. Yeah. I mean, I know it's on ESPN Plus, but you're gonna 8 p.m. Boston with a red bandana game. We can't get it on ESPN2 at least.
Right.
And then we have Peacock next week. Also,
Yeah,
don't get me started on that. But.
I'm okay with the Ohio State game being on Peacock.
It's not so much that game as it is the concept in general.
You can put that one on ACC Network.
That one might be like TVMA, Skinamax, like 3 a.m. You do not want kids seeing that.
They should not even air it. Just show the recording later at like 1 a.m.
Not for the faint of heart. Yeah, I'm not. We are looking
it's
to
a Peacock tape delay. Yeah,
I think. But this, it's just a tone-setting game. Like the imagination can really start running if we beat Boston College. I don't even know how good they really are. Like I do think they've already played. The
fan fiction's going to come.
Teams. Yeah, like that they've been tested. Like they're a real team. It's a time for players to make their names. Like Jalen Thompson, big stop. Like who's the guy that just died? RIP from the 2008.
Adam Decker.
Yeah, like he had that just tone-setting hit early on in D'Antonio's tenure. Like we need things like that. Just set the tone for Jonathan Smith era.
Yeah. Also, RIP.
I agree. I think that, but I'm so excited. This is one of those games that it's finally a game that really means a lot, and it's finally one that we get to be a part of. And I think win or lose, it could be a good experience for the team. And hopefully we come out on top. And I'm like with you, Nikki. They're a good team. It's obvious they're not. I mean, just their performance last week alone, I think, speaks for itself. But you look back, like, is that Florida State win as big as we really thought it was? Florida State. I mean, I'm a Seminole fan myself. My wife went to Florida State, but cover your ears, Ivy. They look terrible. I mean, they look so bad. I mean, Boston College beat them what, 2 or 3 scores. That win I think is diminished now, but certainly an impressive performance last week.
One thing that kind of sucks about the spot we're in at MSU is that like no one's really counting the Maryland win for us because it's like we're still we're kind of in the thing right now where if a team loses to us, that's an indictment on them. Like, oh, maybe they just aren't that good.
Yeah,
right.
Instead of it being like, oh, that's an impressive win against Michigan State. So this again, like,
yeah, I agree. I feel like Spartan fans are the ones that really only know how important that Maryland win was, just because it was one of the coin toss games on the schedule. And when you can win those, I mean, I think that gives you confidence going into the next coin toss games. And also, one thing that people are overlooking is the team learning how to win games early on. I mean, we talked about how last year's team and the 2022 team found ways to lose. When you learn to win games like that, that gives you confidence late in the next game, or when you're down 10 points with 8, 9 minutes to play, you're not out of it. So that's it. I keep saying it. I really think that was a program win. I get made fun of. I get laughed at by people, but they don't have any fucking clue what we've been through for the past 2 years. So they can go screw.
Get him out of here.
Get him out of here. So looking forward a little bit, Nick sent this in the group chat, and I also heard our good friend Matt Sheehan talk about this on his podcast. This is the first I've heard of this Kelly Ford guy. I think it's a guy. I assume it's a guy. Kelly Ford person. They have, I don't even know. I have such a respect for this level of analytics. I have no idea how you come up with these percentages, but Kelly Ford came out with win percentages for the Michigan State's remaining games. And I just want to talk about them a little bit because I'm a little, I don't know, offended, but I don't know, or I'm not shocked or offended by anything, but like some of them seem low. Boston College, 24%. I think that's, one out of every 4 games. I just don't. I guess where do you come up with that? It's on the road, but are they that much better? They'd beat us 3 out of 4 times.
I can see, I guess, why they might think that, but I don't think that. I think at the end of the season we're going to be like, okay, what? Like,
like 45% seems seems fair. I mean,
the 30s, 38, 39, maybe. Like,
yeah.
I think
I mean,
more
if we
than a
go out,
third.
and if we go out and get blown out, then hey, Kelly Ford, my bad.
Keep the receipts.
Yeah. Ohio State 4%.
Okay.
Yeah, I can get behind
Might
that.
be
Yeah. Reasonable.
Right? Yeah.
That might be a little
I
bit
get
too
that.
high.
Yeah. That's If you look at the past 8 years of this game, I'm with you there. Oregon, and this one was actually lower to start the season, has actually gone up, is now at 6%. That's fair. I mean, it's on the road at night at Autzen. Iowa, 30% at home. Here's my thing. What has Iowa proven? Iowa has done nothing. They lost to an okay Iowa State team. I feel like if you're looking at the trends of where these teams are going, Michigan State is trending in a better direction than Iowa. Iowa probably has the experience and probably more well-rounded. But their offense is just useless. I mean, year in and year out, it's the same thing. That game's at home, coming off a bye week. I don't know where 30% comes from. That to me is just
I'm not impressed by Iowa at all.
We wrapped their win in a bow last year and gave it to them. Like,
seriously,
yeah.
Literally.
Like that team could have beaten Iowa. I mean, on the road.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus.
Yeah. Cade McNamara. I mean, please.
Noah Kim could have beat Iowa on the road.
Yeah,
but he didn't.
We were a punt and a penalty away and a field goal away from winning that game.
We didn't score an offensive touchdown and we almost won the game.
Yeah, that's
okay.
That's where I'm like, All right, the next one.
That's a game that Aiden Childs will either win us or lose us by throwing like a clutch.
I think that's the one. I agree. That's the one that.
That's going to be a character building game for Aiden.
Yeah, he's probably not going to really play a factor in the Ohio State and Oregon games, other than
he might be on the sideline in the first quarter.
Yeah. Keep him safe at all costs, please. Okay, Michigan 16%.
Sure.
What Michigan team have they been watching?
I'm glad you think that.
Fresh batch of disrespect.
If we played 10 times, we'd win once, maybe twice. Like, Michigan has been terrible. They have no quarterback.
They can't move the ball.
They beat Arkansas State barely.
By 10.
They barely beat Fresno State. Like, that Fresno State score, I know, looks one way, but that game was much closer. And they got absolutely shellacked by Texas. So, like, in my opinion, I don't even think Michigan should be ranked still.
No.
Because that defense that everyone talks about, that has not looked as good as I think was been advertised either. Now, I get it, that game's on the road, but I've seen Michigan State win at the Big House twice in the past 10 years. So, I mean, it's not like it's undoable.
At least in the past, 4 years. Nope, that's not true.
Oh, yeah. I'm talking about the games I went to, I guess, but you're right. At least once in the past 4 years, 2020, 2017, and 2014. So that one,
don't forget 2015.
That's right. I'm not with Kelly Ford there. Indiana, 26%.
See, that's Kelly.
That's absurd.
Indiana at home. I get Indiana's been playing well, but they are playing bad teams. We were buying into the hype a little early.
I could see Kurt Signetti being a coach that we just despise, and PJ Fleck in 2 years.
Yeah.
He's going to do something so stupid during the Indiana game that's just going to really annoy us.
He is a psycho.
Prediction that I have.
He is a psycho. He's cut from that Harbaugh PJ Fleck cloth. Like, he is. They asked him on the way to the locker room before halftime the other day. They stopped him for a question like they do. I also hate when they do that, but I forgot what they asked him, and he just didn't even answer. He just grunted. He was like, just that's a psycho. He is Nikki. I think you're spot on. He's gonna do something crazy. He's gonna wear the old brass spittoon on his head or something. He's the kind of coach that would tackle a player middle of play.
He's gonna do something that reminds me of the guy at Ohio State who got really mad during senior night. Like he's gonna do something during the walk. Like it's gonna be Devin Bush-esque and like he's gonna be like,
Oh, you'd be like Chris Holtman? Yeah.
Yes. Oh, it's so true. He is a psycho. But 26%, I mean, we beat Indiana last year and we were terrible. Yeah. And that's not to say they're the same team, but I mean, this one's at home. I mean, come on.
We don't give up the spittoon. Come on.
Yeah. I mean, at Illinois, 38%. And that's, I mean, Illinois, people are buying the hype train. People are buying Bielema. And I mean, I feel like Illinois is the same story every year. When they are good, they fold down the stretch. That's going to be like week 10. I mean, on the road, I guess. I don't know. Like 38%. Like,
what is Illinois done to like earn this?
That's what I'm saying.
Fact? Like when we were under D'Antonio, like even in the peak, like until 2015, it was always like, oh, this is probably just a fluke. And like Illinois has like a 9-3 season in 2022, and suddenly they're like one little win against like a team that's 1-2, and they're ranked. Like
they're like 9-3 every 15 years.
Yeah,
and they ride that high for just.
So Illinois has beaten Eastern Illinois. They beat Kansas, who is not the Kansas we saw last year. Kansas just lost to UNLV last week, and they beat Central Michigan. So, like, what all of a sudden we're supposed to believe that Illinois is a top 25 team now? They go to Nebraska this week. I hope they get absolutely boat raced and they can come back down to earth.
They probably will.
Yeah,
Dylan Raiola is gonna play.
Nebraska looks good. Nebraska looks good. That's a team I would not want to play. Okay, Purdue. 67%. I'm back. Kelly, finally a little love.
Good.
Kelly.
That's the highest percentage chance we have. Then we get to go Rudiger's at home. He has that 42%. Which I think more like 51. I do think that's a coin flip game. But I wouldn't say it's that heavy favorite to Rutgers. Like a lot of these games, I think Indiana, Illinois, honestly, Michigan at this point, Iowa, Rutgers, those are coin flip games to me. Like, maybe 55-45, but like 16% chance. I mean, come on. Like the rivalry alone, I think it's got to be 25 at least. But anyways, I really appreciate that kind of deep dive into that stuff. I would love to figure out how that math is done. But I don't want to pay for the services.
Maybe it's not worth anything if you're not going to pay for it.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know.
We'll take a closer look at this Kelly guy and see what his chops are. But moving along here, what is the game you guys, besides Michigan State, obviously, what's the game you guys are most excited for this week? I think it's a good slate.
Oh, for me, an easy one. Just because I think it's going to be beat down-ish, is going to be USC at Michigan. I think
that's a good one.
Yeah,
I haven't been down on Michigan in a while, and I am loving it.
Alex Orji getting that start. I have no idea why they announced it so early. Why would you give USC 5 days to prepare with the?
I mean, what do they got to prepare for? Quarterback power? Like
true.
It's literally all they're going to do.
I feel like you keep that in the back pocket until the first series, but that's a new coach. They do a lot of things that amuse me. I'm with you, Nick, though. I think that should be. I mean, USC, that defense is not their usual. They've stepped it up there. I think Michigan's really going to struggle even with that game at home. Trav,
I'm going to go with Tennessee, Oklahoma. Tennessee's averaging 63 points a game. They're finally getting a big time. Like they put up 51 on North Carolina State, which was ranked 24th at the time. So what are they gonna do in Norman? Who knows? But that offense is clicking like crazy. And then kind of selfishly here in Dallas, you got the iron skillet game between TCU and SMU. the very last one before it goes on pause.
Wow.
So,
I made sure to throw that one in the picks for the DFW crew.
Thank you.
Airing at 4 p.m. Central Time on the CW.
Oh, gosh.
Oh,
That's almost as bad as the ACC
yeah.
network. The CW? Oh, my gosh.
Yep.
Yeah, that is brutal.
Right after Vampire Diaries.
Yeah, really.
Followed by Dawson's Creek. Oh man. I think you guys both picked great games. Let's see. Illinois, Nebraska catches my eye. I'll go with Illinois, Nebraska. 2 Big Ten teams. I think that's a night game as well. 8:00. But I'm really hoping that Illinois gets bent in that one. I'm tired of hearing about them.
Yeah, I got another one to throw in. Big 12 race. 12 Utah, 14 Oklahoma State.
I was gonna say, I feel like I was missing
yeah.
There's some like really good games this week. There's a lot of ranked games.
Yeah. I mean, to me, that's 2 of the 3 teams that are favored to win the Big 12 right now. Utah, Oklahoma State, and then Kansas State. And Oklahoma State has Kansas State next week. So that's
Kansas State looks
huge.
Good. That quarterback is dynamic. He's really fun to watch. Actually, I watched that Arizona game pretty closely. That was pretty impressive. That he's just a good enough passer to really keep the defense honest. But I mean, he is really.
It's his legs that really do it. Yeah.
Yep. All right, Nikki, is it time for Miss the Vis?
I think it's time to go music for Miss the Vis. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Miss the Vis. All right, man. Music gets me every time. So this one is actually going to be a little different. Instead of it being just like guess the stat. There have been 9 seasons since 2000 that we have started 3-0, and I am going to have you guess all of them. But I will give you a free one. That is 2024.
Okay. So I have to guess 8 more.
There are 8 more, and
8 more.
I'll give you, for a hint, if you need it, I'll give you one of the games we played. One of the first 3 games, and then one player on the team, if you need it.
Okay. So am I just rattling this off, or am I waiting for you to
rattle it off?
Rattle it off. Okay. 2021.
Yep.
2015.
Correct.
2014.
No.
We played
lost
Oregon.
to Oregon.
Yeah. Let's see here. You said this is since 2000?
Yeah.
2000. Okay.
You've gotten 2 so far.
Yeah. I got 7 more to go, or 6 more to go? 6 more. 2011.
Nope.
Really? Who do we lose to in that one?
Let me look it up. I think it might have been Notre Dame, but let me double check.
No. Okay. Yeah, that might have. So 2010 then.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, it had to have been Notre Dame if that's what it was.
It was Notre Dame that year.
(2016) Did we start 3-0 and then lose all 9 after that?
No.
Oh, okay. that was definitely okay. So how many are we at?
So there are 5 more.
Which ones does he have so far?
He has 2015 and 2021 and 2010.
Okay. Oh, I think there's an easy one jumping out.
I feel like there's an easy one I'm missing. Yeah. 2019?
No, Arizona
No.
State.
Well, wow. Did I get the year? Oh, I meant 18, not 19.
That was also Arizona State. But are you thinking
Was it?
about the? Are you thinking about
I'm thinking the 10-win team.
Well,
That would have been 17. That would have been 17. I'm thinking
that is not.
I'm
That
think-
is
I'm-
not one.
No. Okay.
No, because we lost
I mean-
to. We lost that year. We lost to Notre Dame as well.
I don't even remember playing them that year. Yeah.
That was, I think, LJ Scott fumbled at like the goal line or something.
Okay.
It was at home, but yeah.
Yeah. All right. This is not going well. Let's see. I'm at the point where I'm just throwing out random years here. Let's see. Give me a hint on one.
Okay. Denikos Allen was on the team.
There was it down to 4 of them. 20. No, that wouldn't have been it. Or what? Wait a minute.
We played South Florida that year.
Okay, that's what I was thinking Notre Dame was the 3rd game that year. That's why it's 2013.
Yep, I thought that was the 3rd game too, but no, it was the 4th. We
Yeah. That's
Western, South Florida, and Youngstown. So
okay.
you have 4 left, and the last one you have is 2010, the most far away. So we have 4 between 2000 and 2009.
Oh, okay. That helps. Let's see. Oh, 06?
That is correct.
Yep. Notre Dame was the 4th game that year too, right?
I believe so.
It's that Notre Dame game.
That was the one where Valenti went off.
Yes.
Take plays.
There's 3 left.
6, yeah. 2001.
Nope.
Yeah, I'm just guessing years at this
All right.
point.
So this one we played Pitt. This year we played Pitt.
Okay.
And Javon Ringer was on the team.
So 2007.
Yep. All right. So 2 more.
Let's see. 08?
Nope.
No.
This
I don't have
Drew
these.
Stanton on it,
Okay.
and we played Hawaii.
04.
2005.
Ah.
And 1 more.
I think the only year I have. I was gonna. I think the only years. Yeah, I was gonna say the only years I haven't guessed are 2000 and 2002.
It was 2000. But it just goes to show how not every 3-0 is no easy feat. There have been some good teams. We've been some great teams that have not made.
Had some bad teams. We've had some bad teams go 3-0 too.
Maybe we ignore that part.
I don't like that one. I should have done so much better on that.
I thought you would do better on that, but I also would not have gotten 2013. I thought took you a while.
Well, because I thought Notre Dame was the 3rd game. So
I would have.
I was sitting there saying we lost.
Fair.
Yeah,
that's fair. I don't think I would have gotten those early 2000, like 2000 through the 2005, 2006, 2007. I would not.
I wouldn't have thought that.
Guesses.
I wouldn't have thought that we had one at all before 05.
Yeah,
honest, but yeah,
I was positive that 2017 we went 3-0.
Yeah, I could have sworn one of those Milwaukee teams started 3-0 too.
Yeah.
I would have thought that team that went 10-3 and won the Holiday Bowl. I would have thought
that's the one I was thinking. I just couldn't get the year. Yeah,
Arizona. That Arizona State game in 2018. That might have been the kill shot of the D'Antonio era. Like
Yeah,
that.
I think so.
That might have been like, especially
that was
then
the one
when he
we
lost
played
it
well
again the year after. He was like, "I'm done with this."
That was the one we played well enough to win, and then just didn't.
One of them we lost like
at the
9
end.
to. Didn't we lose one like 9-6?
That was like both of them, I think.
The first one, I think, if I remember correctly, we were driving and Lewerke threw a pick in the end zone.
Yeah,
and we
Brian,
lost.
Brian.
Yeah,
That one, we were at Kung Fu, Vis and I. I think maybe you weren't there.
I wasn't there. I wasn't there.
The game ended at like 1 a.m. and I was like,
Yeah.
"Wow, this sucks." Because I was like sure we were gonna win.
I was in the
I
hotel
think
after
it
watching
was
my
one of
brother's
those games.
game. Yeah.
All right. Time for the picks.
Cue the music.
Incoming.
Okay. This is going to be a tough spot for me. I had an absolutely terrible week last week. Probably the worst you'll ever see.
Here we go. Standings.
Knock on wood. So there you have the standings.
We're all
Travis
pretty
and Nick
bad.
are tied. 5 games back. I'm just going to come out and say it. I went 2-12 last week. Absolutely horrendous. Good news is
Don't take betting advice from the Savants.
No.
Loserville.
Good news is new week and tons of football left. I'm confident I'll get those 5 games back with the big swings. All right, first game I've got this week. Talked about this one a little bit. The 24th ranked Illinois Fighting Illini will travel to Corn Country to take on the 22nd ranked Nebraska Cornhuskers. The Cornhuskers are favored by 8.5. Travis, I'll start with you.
As much as it pains me, I'll side with the Corn Boys in that one.
Give me everything you got on Nebraska.
I like it. Both my grandparents from Nebraska, both Nebraska alumni, lots of Irwillers in Nebraska. I am going to roll with the Cornhuskers as well. Yeah. There's a Phyllis Irwiller nursing scholarship at Nebraska. So big Nebraska fans in the Irwiller household. Another team we've talked about a little bit today, NC State traveling to 21st ranked Clemson Tigers. NC State coming off quite a bad loss to Tennessee. Clemson is favored by 20.5 in at home in Death Valley. Is that what they call it?
Yeah. I'm gonna go NC State. I just don't see it being a blowout. I guess NC State doesn't have their quarterback this week, but
Yeah, I'll go NC State as well. I just don't know if Clemson's that good.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a tough one for me. I've got to make up some ground, but I'm not going to do it by betting on Clemson. I'm going to go with NC State with the points as well. I just do not like what Dabo's. I don't like the vibes with Clemson right now.
It's not the Clemson of old.
No, and you saw that. I mean, they got absolutely beat down by Georgia, but you saw what Kentucky did versus Georgia. They hung around. The Clemson going the wrong direction quickly. All right, of course, we are going to make a stop at the House of Sin in Ann Arbor, Michigan, what they call the Big House, really like the Big Country Club. USC coming in ranked 11th takes on the Wolverines, who are ranked 18th. USC favored by 5.
Yeah, Trojans. Michigan shouldn't be ranked.
Those spineless, gutless fish couldn't even cover against Arkansas State. Give me USC. Michigan, they disgust me.
I really couldn't have said it better myself.
Well said.
Yeah. I mean, I think Michigan, if they were going to cover a game last week, was the opportunity. They were hearing how bad they were all week. They had a bad Arkansas State team coached by Butch Jones, and they could not cover that spread. I think USC is going to roll them. I'm taking the Trojans as well.
Quick aside. I'm sorry.
Yes, of course. No need.
Under Connor Stallions, Michigan hit the spread like every single game, and now they've gone 0-3 against the spread.
Yeah, it's not a great look.
Connor, can you come back?
Yeah, that's what I was telling my Michigan friends. Like, I don't think anyone thinks Connor Stallions is the reason they won the championship last year. But I think if you look at their trajectory, they went like 48-3 or something in those 3 or 4 or 5 years. Like, there's the fall off is kind of clear here, but I digress. Sticking with the new Southern California Big Ten teams, a struggling UCLA team travels to Louisiana State to take on the Tigers of LSU. LSU coming off a tight one versus South Carolina. They are favored by 24 at home against UCLA.
I mean, UCLA got their ass kicked by Indiana last week at home. So I'm going to roll with the Tigers with that. I know it's a big line, but I'm going to go with it.
I'm going to go the Bruins. I think they will cover.
All right. Yeah, I don't love this line. I think that's a lot of points for an LSU team that I'm not totally confident in. I do like Nussmeier. I think he is a solid quarterback. I'm going to go with LSU. I really think UCLA is bad, so I'll roll with the Tigers. Moving on to the ACC. The 19th ranked Louisville Cardinals are heading to the Rambling Wreck to take on the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. Louisville coming in as a 10-point favorite on the road.
I'll take Georgia Tech. I don't think it ends up being 10.
I'll go LV. Louisville.
Lewis's.
I am, again, torn on this one. I really was impressed with the way Georgia Tech played against Florida State. I really liked the way the offense was running. That win doesn't look as impressive now, but I'm going to go with you, Trav. I'm going to take the Rambling Wreck here. Plus the 10. All right, moving on over to the Big 12. We talked about this one a little bit. The Utah Utes coming in ranked number 12 with a coming off a win against their in-state rival Utah State. They are traveling to Norman, Oklahoma to take on the 14th ranked Oklahoma Sooners. Utah favored on the road by 2 in this one.
That is Stillwater, Oklahoma, by the way.
I'm sorry. Norman is Oklahoma State.
Anyway. Yep. Sorry, you said 2?
Yes, 2 points.
I'm gonna go Oklahoma State.
It's Oklahoma. Oh, it's Oklahoma State. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Stillwater is Oklahoma.
Stillwater is Oklahoma State. Norman's
Oklahoma.
Yeah.
I'm not a geography guy.
I will go Oklahoma State.
I think this one I will take my chances here to maybe pick up a game, and I will go Utah with the points, or laying the points, I should say. Our next game, this one is played in Norman. The 6th-ranked Tennessee Volunteers, that high-powered offense, are traveling to take on the 15th-ranked Oklahoma Sooners. Tennessee coming in as a touchdown favorite, 7 points.
That seems low, so I'm going Tennessee. They're rolling right now. They can score.
Oklahoma is going to have some serious buyer's remorse from joining the SEC after getting just whacked by the Tennessee Volunteers.
I'm going to try to pick up another game here. I'm with you, Trev. I think it seems low, and I think that tells me someone knows something that I don't. I'll take Oklahoma at home with the points. All right, the one we talked about, I already forgot the name of this rivalry, but wanted to throw this one in for the Dallas-Fort Worth fans out there. TCU Horned Frogs are 3-point favorites traveling to SMU to take on the Mustangs. Travis, I'll start with you. What was the name of the rivalry again?
Is the Battle for the Iron Skillet.
There you go.
And the Iron Skillet is going to reside in Dallas with the Mustangs.
Sure. Staying it up.
SMU?
Staying it up, bro.
What do they say? Pony up?
Pony up.
Yeah, I'll take the home dog here. I'll ride with the Mustangs. I'll take SMU.
Kevin Jennings going to get that win.
Oh yeah, big
Quarterback
K.
change.
That's okay.
Bit of a slow start to their season coming off that successful year last year. But hopefully they can right the ship this week. Okay. Northwestern, my favorite school, taking on the Washington Huskies, who, Nick, you called this one last week. You said one of those Pac-12 teams was going to former Pac-12 teams was going to upset their rival school. And what do you know? Washington lost to Washington State. Washington is, this game's at Washington. Washington's favored by 10.5.
I'm going to go Northwestern. Unfortunately, I was wrong about which one of those Pac-12 teams was going to show up last week.
You and me both. That was tough.
Yeah. I don't really have any reasoning for this one. I'm just going with Northwestern.
Right?
I'll go Washington. I like Jed. I think Jed
like
the
like
boys
Jed Fish.
ready to play.
I think he was roped into that Stallions thing, but
I don't like
I am not going to pick Northwestern. I'm going to take Washington as well. Lay in the points. At home, bounce back opportunity. Okay. Obviously, throw this one in there for the Florida State Seminole listeners that we have. California travels to a struggling Florida State team down in Tallahassee. Florida State favored in this one by 2.5.
I haven't seen Cal play this year, so I'm going to go with Florida State. Shockingly.
I think I might go Cal. I'm going to go Cal.
They got to get one eventually.
They beat Auburn.
Yeah, I am concerned that if you can't beat Memphis, that you're not going to beat Cal.
It's a fair point.
I keep picking Florida State, and they keep losing. I'd like them to win, but I'm going to pick Florida State. I think that there's just too much pressure to win this game. I have to think that they're our more talented team, and that's just eventually going to show in one of these games at home. Okay. This one I threw in because both these teams really laid an egg last week. Travis, you mentioned one of them, Oregon State. They are hosting the Purdue Spoilermakers, although they were not in a very spoiling mood last week. They really screwed me. I really thought they would play a good game versus Notre Dame. Purdue travels to Corvallis. They are 4.5-point dogs, so the Beavers are favored by 4.5.
You know, I don't want to go with the Beavers after what they did to me last week, but I'm going to.
I'm going to go with Purdue because Oregon State fans are just kind of annoying. I think it's kind of funny when they lose.
That's a good point. It's one of these games I don't want to bet on either team because they both were so bad last week.
Yep.
I think I will ride with the home team. I really don't think Purdue is very good, so I'll take the Beavers as well. Laying the points. That game could be a really ugly one. Okay, obviously the game of the week. Oh shoot, I forgot to do the Lions. Hang on, let me get the Lions spread really quickly here. Sorry for the dead air. The Lions are playing the Cardinals on the road. Detroit is -3, so a road favorite here. That's not great. Travis?
Yeah, we don't play well in Arizona, and Arizona was very good last week, but I'm never not picking the Lions. Let's just put it that way. Until they show me something different, I should say.
What do you call last week?
It doesn't concern me enough.
Okay.
Yet.
Okay.
Maybe against a better team, yes, but not against the Cardinals.
Yeah, we need a couple. It's going to take a lot for me to flip on the Lions. So it'll be a quick flip switch. You'll see. Hopefully not. Hopefully you won't see, but forward down the field.
Yeah, this one's concerns me. Kyler Murray probably playing as good as he's played in a while. If you look at what Baker did to us last week, that is a bit scary. But like you guys, I'm not going to bet against the Lions. They've done good by me so far. I'll take the Lions -3. Now to the granddaddy of them all, the game of the week, the one we're all waiting for. The Michigan State Spartans traveling from East Lansing, the school that's known to all, traveling to Boston College to take on the Golden Eagles. We've talked about this one a little bit. Boston College is favored by 6.5, just short of a touchdown. Travis, give me your pick and, of course, the score.
Okay, I go back and forth on this one, but I might look like an idiot in this one, but I'm going to go 2017 Spartans.
All right.
Good guys on top.
The Spartans will be beating the Eagles, the Golden Eagles. Winston will be redeemed, and it will not be that close. It is going to be 35-17 Spartans.
Holy shit.
Whoa.
Wow, I like that.
He's got that.
I like that.
The glasses.
Hell yeah. I mean, we can't lose now.
Straight baller. Yeah.
I am with you guys. I think Michigan State's going to cover the spread and win the game. I like Travis's score a lot. I'll mix it up a little bit here. I will go 17-13 MSU.
Sweating it out.
I've come within a point so far this year. So
You were very close
Maryland.
on the Maryland game. Yep. You were right there. That's it for this week's picks. Hopefully a bounce back week from Willie, although a lot of the picks are the same. But we'll see. Hopefully I can scrape back a couple and that'll do it. But as always, thank you all for tuning in. Nick, Travis, thank you. Great episode. You can find Spartan Savants on Instagram and Twitter. For podcasts, you can listen to us anywhere you get your podcast, Apple, Spotify, wherever the podcast X, whatever they are. And if you're a visual guy or a visual person, girl, ma'am, you can watch on YouTube. That's probably the best way to do it, if you ask me. I think it's always fun. You get to see Nikki's bits. And of course, shout out to the College Huddle. You guys got anything else?
It's free to subscribe, so
that's right.
Go ahead and hit the button.
It will cost you nothing.
It's
just like being nice. Doesn't cost anything.
Exactly. It's just a good deed.
All right. Well, with that, I will do us proud, and I will do my best to come on with a victory. And with that, go green.
Go white.